Hey everybody, and welcome back to Koi Pond Lifestyle. So what have we got on this week? I've just literally got back from seeing Russell at Bay Aquatics. Picked up another roll of my faithful winter floss. Look at that, 24 quid. Can't beat it, can you? This'll last me probably 2 seasons. You know, I use it quite a lot. So that'll last me a while, that will. I don't know about everybody else, but I feel like I'm in a kind of a lull at the moment. It's almost like the calm before the storm. We're waiting for winter to kick in. Night temperatures are real well down at the moment. Day temperatures, I mean, okay, it's a bit cloudy, a bit windy maybe, but it's lovely today. It's what, 12, 13 degrees? Pond temperature is around 13 degrees, and it's kind of hovering between sort of 13 and 14, so, you know, I'm still sort of feeding. The old wheat germ is still going in to the pond, because I might as well just keep feeding now until we get a bit lower, and then away we go. Now, my last video I did, there was people commenting on my feeding regime. So mine, as I've said in the past, as soon as the pond gets to below 10 degrees, I stop feeding. I've always been told to do that, so that's what I've always done. There was a few people, Lou from the French Connection, that's good that is, she commented that maybe try it a little bit lower, sort of 8 to 10, and then drop off the feed. So, I don't know, I think keep them comments coming in, because I tell you what I find a lot on social media is for example, you know, I'm on a lot of Facebook sites, a lot of koi sites, because they like to keep in touch with what's going on and what everybody's doing. And sometimes I find that people ask a question on there and you get 50 different answers. So the person that's put it on, I don't know, what temperature should I stop feeding my fish at? You get like loads of different answers. Stop at 10, stop below 10, leave it till 8, I feed mine right the way through, mine's heated, I feed them right the way through, I've never been heated 30 years and I'm still feeding them in the winter. So you get loads and loads of different comments, which is interesting. Because, well, it's interesting, you look at them, you look at the question, and I, in my mind, know what the answer is, because it's what I do on my pond. But others are obviously doing different things on their ponds. So it's loads of different answers you get. And the person that's coming into this lovely hobby we have, who's brand new, and says, just had this pond, put some fish in it, it's going green, or it's the fish are dying, or whatever the questions are, you'll get loads and loads of different answers. But I suppose that's just what the hobby is, because loads of people manage their ponds different ways. I manage mine a different way to person over there or person over there, so, you know, it's how you manage your ponds. So today's a mixed bag. A mixed bag. Today's a mixed bag. We've got a number of routine maintenance stuff to do today, I think, because I need to start getting on top of what's happening in my filters, because when winter comes I want to make sure they're nice and clean, give them a good winter prepping, as you'll see a lot of videos coming out, so I'll get them started. I think I'm going to do maybe the 2 brushes and then leave the other end for another time, because I don't like to do all the bays at the same time. It sort of messes the filters up a little bit, to be honest. But like I say, my multi-bay Cockney Koi 10,000, doing a cracking job. People keep saying to me, put a drum in, put a whatever filter in, and I kind of, well, yeah, I know, but anyway, do a lot of waffling at the moment. So let's crack on with some jobs, and then we'll see how it goes. Right, saving. Everybody's on about saving power, energy, money, whatever. Saw a cracking idea the other day that involves my little friend here. This is the Lazer temperature thermometer thingy, where you point it basically at a surface, pull the trigger, and on the back there it tells you what the temperature is. So I'm using this at the moment in conjunction with my other temperature measuring thing, mid thermometer basically, to measure the temperature of the pond, which is currently 13 degrees, give or take, because there's margin error in these things. You know, they're not the most accurate, but they're real close. So they're sort of between +1 and -1 of a result. So how am I saving more money using this? I saw a guy on YouTube the other day who was talking about his, nothing to do with ponds, water, but not ponds, was reducing the temperature that you produce in your house for your hot water and your radiators. So I have a tank in my house. I haven't got a combi boiler. I've got a tank in my house. So what the idea was, when I was watching it, is to reduce your temperature of your water down. So I had a look at what my temperature was, and basically when my new boiler went in, the guy that put it in just whacked it up and said, yeah, there you go, it'll get your radiators red hot sooner, and okay, you'll have to mix your tap with a bit of cold water. And I'd kind of forgotten about that. So I went to the boiler, and yeah, it was on max. So interestingly, started turning it down a little bit, measured the temperature of the water from the tap, and it was something like 65-70 degrees. Way too hot. So no wonder we've been using so much cold water with the hot water. Anyways, so I started turning it down, and I must have turned it down about at least 40% of the way on the dial, so that the tap temperature was just over 50, it was about 52 degrees, so maybe 51 to 54 degrees with this. So I measured the temperature of that. Now you got the Legionnaire's issue, and I've done a bit of reading up on this before I started lowering temperatures, because I know that if you bring your temperatures down too low, then Legionnaires, or whatever they call it, and other bacterial issues you can get in your pipework. So I've sussed out now that, or what everybody's telling me on the internet, and again the health and safety exec, they also had listing what temperatures should be in a household, is that your tank, for example, a tank of water should be at least 60 degrees in the tank or more. So 60-65 degrees it should be in your tank. That kills the Legionnaire stuff and any of the other bacterial issues you have in your pipes as the hot water runs down your pipes. So, but from the tap it can be 50 degrees. So that's where I was measuring from the tap, because on my boiler and on my tank there's nothing that indicates to me digitally what the actual temperature is. You can only set it to a temperature, but it didn't tell you what it actually is. So hence I had to get this I used the nearest tap to the boiler and then measured the water coming out of the tap, and it was 51-52 degrees, so it's sort of 51 to 54. So that's meant I can turn down my dial around about 40% of the dial have now turned back. And what I've also found, because I don't know, I'm sure there's plumbers out there going, you've got to think about what you're doing with the diseasey stuff, mate. Well, what I have is, I have one of those Nest units that control my heating and my hot water and all that kind of stuff. And I've set that to automatically overboil the water and kills all the bacteria in the water that's sitting in this tank. So yeah, that's so there you go. Google it, read up on it. It's I'm saving, you know, I'm saving money that I could basically be spending on these guys and the pond and my filters and other things, but don't tell the wife. Cool. Because we've got these other glasses. I can't see through these glasses. These new ones, I can't do it. They're horrible. That's better. My other window's on now. So I've had some new glasses. I can't get used to them at all. Anyways, sorry. So yeah, covers are still off. I'm not going to bother with my covers going on yet, because I want to sort of be watching the fish as much as past. Temperatures, as I said earlier, about 13ish degrees. The covers will sit to one side. Now my sky pond, as you can see, the fish are still using it occasionally, and it's starting to go green now. I've left it for, I think it's about 4 weeks now. Sun's not been out that much, so it doesn't green up as quick. But I think to take it off, clean it and put it back on again, maybe not. So I'm going to take it off over the next couple of weeks. I might even do it today actually, but the fish are using it, so I don't want to take it from them. And then take it off, take the frame out as well, and store them in the garage. So they'll be basically stored away and ready for next year. Covers. We've just been talking about not putting the covers on yet. I had a number of comments from other people on the channel, or the people who watched the last video, that they were looking at putting polystyrene sheeting laying on the water, which I suppose if you did, yeah, it probably would, that might hold the temperature a bit better, because you're actually insulating it from the top of the water, whereas I put my covers on and there's a gap in the covers. So I don't know, I've always been told though that, you know, you shouldn't cover the pond water because of letting the gases out, but there's no material on the bottom of my pond. You know, it's not a natural pond. This pond's got a middle drain, which is just, and the base is just covered in fiberglass, and all the waste goes down through the bottom drain into the filter system and is dealt with there. So there's nothing in the bottom of the water that would ferment and make gases. It's one of them school days. You know what to do. I think up north Koi, I'll have to go back in his videos and have a look, because I'm sure he did something or does something similar where he just lies the polystyrene sheets on the water. I'll have to have a look. If you're watching this video, comment below. So today's video has been brought to you in conjunction with Koiagi Designs. You've probably seen some of his designs featuring throughout the video today. So if you want to have a look at his website, these are just some examples that I've been showing you today of things like key rings that you saw earlier, placemats or mug mats where you can put your trendy mugs when you're having your brew with your koi mug in your hand. But yeah, check out his Facebook site. I'll put it in the link below. It's Koiagi Designs. He's also have an email address. I'll put that below as well. See what else he can do for you. And on that bombshell, thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please click the link there, subscribe to the channel, like the video, ding the bell for notifications, and share to all your friends. Thanks very much for watching. This was Koi Pond Lifestyle.